Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Tell Me More. Today's drink of the day is... totally forgot what I was going to say. This is the Truly Lemonade. I really wanted an ice cold beer, but I didn't buy any beer, so I don't have any beer to drink, even though it'd be really good on a hot day like today. A few disclaimers I want to make is, one, I do have a fan on, so you might hear it, you might not. I've noticed I've said it in the last two Tell Me More episodes, but I don't think you can hear it. But just in case you do, I do have a fan on. Make sure you guys are staying safe. I know there's a few fires out there. I hope everyone is safe and healthy. And make sure you stay hydrated, of course, because it's so hot right now. Second thing is, there are a few kids running outside, so you might hear a few screams, laughs here and there. I did shut the window, which is going to be really hot, so if you see your girl sweating, it's because it's probably like 80 degrees, like just in this room. My last disclaimer is, I just want to make sure that I make this very clear. I am not a professional. I am not trying to say that my advice is the right way to go. I don't want this to be about giving advice. I want this to be about like friends asking questions about their lives, and I'm just going to talk about my experiences or things that I've dealt with other friends experiencing things and like things like that basically. So I don't want this to be... I know I said once, I think in my first episode, that it's kind of like an advice column, but I only said that because I know it's technically advice when someone asks me what I would do. So yeah, but really this is just about me wanting to talk to you guys and me wanting to learn about you and you learning about me. So please, I'm not a professional. I'm not saying what I say goes. I am human. I do make mistakes. So learning from previous mistakes, I am fully involved. Like, I'm making sure that I read your guys' messages fully and thoroughly and making sure, like, I have notes. Like, literally, I took notes. Like, this isn't just like, I took your email, I just read it once or twice, and I go, oh, I have a few things to say. Like, I genuinely, like, printed out paper, took notes, like, went through the whole email. Like, I genuinely, like, took the time and went through everything and went through every possible scenario. And of course, I'm still going to miss a few things. And that's why you guys are here, because I want you guys to comment down below and, you know, share your thoughts, because I don't want this to be just about me. Another thing is, there was like a couple people who didn't get Martha and a couple people who like didn't like Martha, and then a couple people who were like, about Martha, and then a couple people who really loved Martha. I have decided to let her go because one of the things is there will be topics that are going to be hard for me to share, and there's going to be topics that are going to be hard for others to share with me, but they still want to. And in order for me to be able to feel like I can connect with you guys, I understand that Martha's not going to work because it seems like it's a joke or, you know, these things. So I've decided to let Martha go. It is going to be me and me only, Michelle all the way, talking about my experiences. And I hope that one day I will get to talk about these experiences, because a lot of you guys are new subscribers from Kim's channel, and obviously through Kim's channel, it is a channel she's been building for a while, and you guys coming in, seeing my old videos, and now it's very different. My personality has changed. I've gone through a lot of stuff that you guys don't know. Like, I thought I was an open book, but I'm not always an open book. So I'm going to try my best, and this is my way of opening up to you and expressing my thoughts and my experiences, because trust me, your girl has gone through a lot, and it's made me who I am today and why I am or how I am and all that other stuff. Anyways, I just wanted to make sure that everybody is on the right page. This is just supposed to be, I want to say fun, but it's not always going to be fun because there's going to be some serious topics that we talk about. But this is supposed to be like, grab your drinks, grab your, whether it's alcohol or not, boba drink, wine, Tito's if you really want to, I don't know. Just grab whatever you have, sit down, talk about it with me, talk about it with your friends. Like, maybe you're bored, turn it on and be like, hey, what would you do? Or whatever the case may be. I don't know, but this is a time where I want to share with you and you guys get to share with me. So, on that note, that's really good. It's really hot today. I notice while editing, I always do this thing with my right eye. I don't know why. And it's every time. I realized I do it every time I drink. Only alcohol. I don't know why. So on today's episode, we are talking about friendships. I have gone through not too many friendships, I wouldn't say. There are a few friendships that I've gone through. The topic of friendship is so close to my heart. Friends are so important to me. I don't know if it's because I'm a Libra or if it's just my personality. I do also know my dad's a very big friend person. Like, my mom isn't. She's very to herself. She doesn't need friends. She's like, I'm fine. Like, friends are just so temporary. But I'm very big on friends. Like, my friends mean the world to me. They almost are as equal as family. I've gone through a lot with friendships. I've lost a really good friend, not like passing, but you know, it kind of feels like that sometimes when someone's so special to you, it like you cut off all ties and stuff. My best friend Kim and I have had our fair share of troubles. Trust me, one day we will get to talk about all of that. That is an interesting topic, and it's interesting to be able to be older and look back at it now. There's also friendships like from middle school and high school and all these things, and wow. But today I get the opportunity to share 3 stories with you guys, and we can talk about how you guys would handle them. I talked about how I would handle them. I tried my best to be able to look at both sides, but obviously I am just me and I am just talking by myself. So please share your thoughts, of course. Without further ado, we will get on with the story. I'm gonna get myself situated here. That is not one of them. Okie dokie. I'm like trying to get myself situated here because I was really excited. So, this is one of them. Now, let's see here. My life before COVID was on the go constantly. I was focusing on my career. I'm an assistant hairstylist. I was supposed to take clients of my own this summer, but the shutdown order took place and has still been in order today. Since then, I've been re-evaluating my life and have realized how lonely I am. Work has been my safety net, and now that's away, I don't know what to do with myself. I am really grateful that I have my family to support me, and really that's all you need. But I don't have a boyfriend or any close friends. What's affecting me more is the fact that I don't have any close friends. I miss my best friend. We did everything together, but then I found out that she loved me in a romantic way and things fell apart. Unfortunately, I am not lesbian, and it just ended up not working out in the end. She was possessive over me and would get jealous if I would hang out with other people. So that friendship was toxic for me, yet I still miss it? That's what I don't understand. I don't know why I am feeling this way, and it makes me sad to say this, but all my relationships in the past, whether it be with close friends or boyfriends, I've always had toxic relationships. I don't know what's wrong with me. I feel like I draw the crazy people in my life. During this unlimited amount of free time on my hands, I've realized how much I need to work on my social life. But I'm scared to let people in because I don't want to be hurt again. Do you have any advice for me? You have so many friends. How do you find them and know they won't hurt you? Thank you for listening. I'm really grateful and happy you decided to do this. To just know that someone cares to listen about your problems means so much. You're the best. Thank you. Okay, so I'm just going to work down the email just to make sure that we're on the same page, you and I. Okay. So it seems to be like the email starts off with being like, oh my God, I've focused so much on my career. I kind of let my social life go, basically. And hardworking is never a problem. You should always be hardworking, and you should always feel like you are aiming for your goals. That's one of the things that I've never taken the time to do, is aim for my goals and what I really want. And that's good that you focused on that. But I do believe at the same time, there needs to be some way, somehow, you fit in time for yourself. Not for other people or to like make friends, but just in general, just for yourself to be able to like wind down, do something you enjoy. And if you do something you enjoy, like say you like ceramics, so you go to a few ceramics classes, and that's how you spend your time. You can find friends there. I don't know. So just make sure that you're staying goal-oriented and going for what matters to you career-wise, but at the same time still taking time to take care of yourself. And taking care of yourself not only means like your own personal like health and whatnots, but also filling your life with people who you love and, you know, all that kind of stuff. One of the things I underlined was what's affecting me more is the fact that I don't have any close friends. Is there a reason you don't have close friends? Do you mean close as in like, you know what I'm trying to figure out what close friends means. Do you mean like someone who you're best friends with, or, you know, things like that, or just people in general that you don't hang out with? Is there a reason why? Do you cut off these people? Do you not have people like who can you can easily hit up and like go out to dinner or drinks with, things like that? I kind of wanted to figure that part out because I was a little bit confused. Even making the time to get to know others that are in your life, but they're not close friends, like they're acquaintances. You can always further it by going like, hey, let's go grab drinks, or hey, let's go do this, or hey, I noticed you like doing this, can I join you next time? Things like that. The part I totally related to was that the friendship was toxic for you and you still miss it. It's so normal to miss a toxic relationship. I feel like a lot of the times it could be also very relieving for some people, but I understand why you miss it, because it's like a habit. It's like this friend or relationship, whatever the case may be for you guys and how you relate. You know, this was the person who was your person. This was, you know, as much as they hurt you and they always brought you down, it was your person. And of course it's normal to miss that and want to be with someone, because even though people can be toxic, they were still at one point close to you and knew things about you and could talk to you and you could talk to them. And so it's totally normal. Don't think like, oh, she was terrible to me, that's why I have to, you know, forget about her completely and erase the memories. I had a very close friend and I had a very hard time. It took me a while to get to a point where I could talk about it in a happy way, but it's okay to remember the happy things that happened in your relationship. Just because it was toxic doesn't mean that you have to erase the memories completely, you know? Okay. You're too much. You're like in my way. I don't know why I'm feeling this way, and it makes me sad to say this, but all my relationships in the past, whether it be with close friends or boyfriends, I've always had toxic relationships. Now this, to me, because I can relate to it, the first thing that came up to my mind was, and please, this is going to come off a little bit rough, and I don't mean it that way, but honestly, it resonated with me so much. And one of the things was, do you allow it to happen to you? And what I mean by that is sometimes I am such a pushover and I don't have a backbone for people sometimes, and I think because that they love me or I love them, that's okay. And so I allow them to take advantage of me and treat me in a toxic way. So I thought that was really important that I brought it up, because for me, it was always a struggle. Like, certain people were toxic to me, but, you know, could it be because I allow it? Now, it's not your fault. I'm not saying that you allow it and you deserve it. I'm just saying, once you realize, oh, like, I'm stronger than that, or no, I don't deserve that, you change. And I've changed. I've realized I deserve better. So no, you are not worth a friend to me or a relationship to me, because that's just bull. Like, I'm not going to sit here and deal with you and let you treat me this way. Like, goodbye. I got better things to do. You got a career to chase, girl. Like, you got better things. I just want you to say that you deserve the best relationships and friendships. And people shouldn't be toxic to you, because friends should be like, no, like, you should do you, girl. Like, you are your own. Your relationship or friendship shouldn't identify who you are and what you are. And then you said, I don't know what's wrong with me. Nothing's wrong with you, girl. Nothing's wrong with you. It's completely normal. People are assholes, literally assholes. They are toxic for no reason, and you don't deserve it, regardless of whatever the case may be. I don't care what it is. There's no reason to be toxic in someone else's life. I'm so sorry that your best friend and you didn't work out in the way that she had hoped or you had hoped, because it sounds like she was your person. But it's okay and nothing's wrong with you. And it's people who are toxic in your life, that's their problem. Like, they got some things to fix. Like, your friend, for example, she, like, was possessive over you. And now, do I know her side of the story? No. But I'm taking your side because I only know your side. I'm not obligated here to sit what your friend thinks because, to be quite honest, I don't really care because you're the one that matters because you're sending me this email. So you said she was possessive over me and would get jealous if I would hang out with other people. She was toxic. She was asking for it. She put toxic right on her forehead and she said, this is who I am. I get to control her and decide who she hangs out with and who she doesn't hang out with. Oh my God, that totally makes me think, is she the reason why you don't have other people in your life? Because you kind of just focused in on her and like kind of disregarded everybody else. And so you never got to build those relationships with other people. I don't know. That's a thought. I'm just kind of blurting out what I think. Last thing I want to talk about is, you said, do you have any advice for me? You have so many friends. How do you find them and know they won't hurt you? You will never know if a friend will hurt you or if a relationship like a boyfriend or a girlfriend will hurt you. You never know that. You are just trusting in the fact that they won't hurt you, that they have a good enough heart that they won't hurt you. I mean, I trusted someone for like, what, 13 years? Over a decade. And I never in a million years thought that they would hurt me. And it literally broke my soul. Oh my God. I need to get it together. But it literally tore me apart. And I trusted that they would never do that to me. I'm not even going to talk about it because I'm going to wait. Like, I can't. Whew. I don't find... I'm not going to go into detail with the story because I believe that when the right timing comes, I'll be able to share my story. But you will never know if someone really has your back, or you just do it. You just trust them because you're a good person and you believe in good people, and that's why you trust them. My friend group, I don't have very many friends. I don't know where you got this idea, girl, that I had a lot of friends. You said you have so many friends. I do not have that many friends. I have a very small group of people that I trust, especially after my last incident with my ex-best friend. I have a very small circle. I'm very outgoing and I'm like an introverted extrovert, but I'm more extrovert than I'm introvert. I'm very social. I'm very like, my best friend Kim and I are very opposites in that way. I'm very like, oh my God, do you want to grab lunch with like a total stranger? And I'm like, let's do it. Kim is very like, I'm busy, thank you. But she like, once she has a connection with someone, she's all in. Me, I'm like, what do you want to do? And it's like, we literally met yesterday. So that's just my personality. So it may look like I have a lot of friends. I don't know how you would think that I'm outgoing though. There's no way of me proving to you guys that I'm outgoing though, because I don't go around talking to random strangers all the time. But I have a very small amount of friends. I have Kim, Bianca, my cousin, and Myra. Literally very small group. It is literally so tiny. And one of the things for me is always making sure I make quality time for these people. I know that these 4 people have my back literally all the time. However, I will say, of course, it is hard to trust that. Like, after my last incident and how much my previous friendship hurt me, I was very hesitant. I was like, I don't know. Like, wow, that puts, like, me into perspective where I'm like, oh my God, are all my friendships just failures? And like, one day the truth will come out. And it's hard, but you just have to trust yourself and be able to put yourself first. Maybe one day you'll find someone at the salon that you work at. Maybe it's a client. And you'll go for it and you'll ask to go to lunch, or they'll ask you to go to lunch, and you take the chance and you do it. But the point is that you are in full control. You get to decide whether you think that they're toxic or not. You get to leave when you think that it's not benefiting you. You are in full control of your relationships and friendships. And that's what matters. At least to me, that's what matters. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I loved hearing about it. I love talking about it. I hope that one day I get an email and you tell me all about your new friendships and whatnot. Obviously, with COVID, it's a lot harder, and I totally understand, but just be open to it. Allow it to happen, and I'm sure a beautiful friendship or a relationship will work out. And, you know, be and do whatever you want, girl. That's all that matters. Taking another sippy sip. I almost lost an ice cube. Whew! Your girl almost died. Okay. Moving on to the next email. Hi, Michelle. Sending you big love from Australia. Hello. I'm hoping you might be able to provide some guidance and advice on a situation I'm going through at the moment. I've had a friend group since the end of high school, which is 6 years now, and as of late. I've been struggling to want to hang out as constantly as we used to. The group seems to be divided, with some of us working full-time, having long-term goals, saving for our future, and whatnot, while others are still unemployed, have no motivation or drive, and want to live that party life week by week. Lately, I seem to be the only one speaking up and saying something when they are constantly telling some of us, we are not fun, we live to sleep and work, etc. I completely respect everyone lives their own life, but I feel like I'm outgrowing my friends. They don't support me or want to grow with me, or our maturity seem to be on different pages. I am overthinking, though, that I distance myself from this group. There is that real struggle of making friends and starting from scratch with new people. I admire the friendship you and Kim have, and it really translates even through camera. So genuine and loving. What would you do? Continue to be around a group that you've outgrown and feel like you have very little in common with, or start fresh to make new friends with the fear of judgment and rejection? I hope you are doing well during this uncertain time in the world. Thank you. So first things first is 6 years. I don't think growing up definitely means that you don't see your friends all the time. I mean, Kim and I see each other all the time, but it's a natural thing to grow out of it. Eventually, Kim and I will grow up, and she will have a family, I'll have a family, and of course we'll still make time for each other. Okay, so it says here, I've been struggling to want to hang out as constantly as we used to. That is completely normal. Now, I'm just going to take a guess, 6 years from now and as of late, which means 6 years ago, so I'm assuming you graduated high school around 2014, somewhere around there, just a guesstimate. So you're about 24, maybe? 24. Yeah, that sounds about right, because I'm going to be 26 and I graduated 2012. So somewhere around 24. Yeah, it's completely normal to outgrow the seeing a friend constantly. Like, Kim is a different story for me because Kim and I live very close to each other and we're like obsessed with each other. That's really all the case is. But like my other friends, I only see them once a week. And my cousin doesn't even live here. It's very normal to outgrow that when you're starting to focus on yourself and your career and your relationships and paths. Like you get married, have kids, or whatever the case may be, or you move because you have a job opportunity or go to further your education. I don't know, something like that. It's totally normal to outgrow it, to not see them constantly. Lately, I seem to be the only one speaking up and saying something when they are constantly telling some of us, we are not fun, we live to sleep and work, etc. Oh, I'm understanding it. At first, I was like, what do you mean you're speaking up? But I get it. Like, you're defending yourself. That's what I'm getting. I see that it bothers you, I feel like, because that would be why you're telling me that this is what they're saying. And it would bother me, too. But honestly, it doesn't matter what they think. Because yeah, you maybe not fun to them because your fun is a different definition of their fun. But you do live to sleep and work, and I'm sure you're not fun. You're still friends with these people, so I'm assuming that you're not completely, like, not fun. But you work, of course, because unfortunately, our life, we have to work in order to live. Does that make sense? In order to enjoy the finer things in life, you have to work. That's how it works. You also mentioned they don't support me or want to grow with me, or our maturity seems to be on different pages. One, if they're your friends, they should support you. No matter what. No matter what. I mean, there are a few things they shouldn't support you on, and that's like, we're not even going to get into that. But yeah, they should support you. Whether that's work and you only work, they should support you. I will say, as a friend, though, it would be very hard if they're always trying to make time to see you. Not for, like, festivals and, like, concerts and, like, crazy bar adventures, but, like, even for lunch or dinner. Like, if you don't make the time because you're just busy working all the time, I would understand why that's very frustrating for a friend. So have that in mind. But I will say they do need to support you as a friend. Or not need to, they should, because that's what friends are for. But unfortunately, I don't think that they will need to grow with you. And I don't think that's what you meant, but like, people grow at different paces. I feel like I didn't really have an opportunity in my life to understand what I'm capable of and what I wanted to reach as goals until really a couple months ago. And I'm 26 in October. So I feel like some of them might be lost perhaps, and they're just trying to figure out life day by day. And I know it doesn't really match your map. And sometimes it can be frustrating because they're judging you off of what they think is right, but it really doesn't matter. They need to grow on their own time. You're growing on your own time. You're doing amazing. They're doing amazing. They can party all they want, and they'll come to realization whether maybe that's how they'll find their connection or whatever the case may be, or maybe they're working on something that you don't really know about. I don't know, So just allow the process of growing up to happen. Something that stood out to me is you said that I distanced myself from this group. It's not distancing. I don't think that you should think of it as like, oh my God, they're on the wrong page as me, so I'm going to distance myself. Because these people don't seem like they're bad people. They're just not on the same page as you anymore. And so your life is going, say like hypothetically, your life is going at the speed of 45 and they're going at the speed of 20. Not because they're living the party life. I'm just saying as an example, they could be going 40 and you could be going 20. I don't know. But you can't match. You're not on the same, So it's not distancing. It's just that you're growing up. Unfortunately, I think it is hard when you realize like, oh, it's not high school anymore. Or, oh, it's not college anymore. Or, oh, wow, I have responsibility and bills and all this stuff to pay, So, it's just that you're growing up, you're living your life, and if you have time, you make time for them. If these people are important to you, is what I mean. I feel like friendships should come naturally. When you click with someone or when the timing is right, you will naturally have a conversation and it'll be fun, and you easily go, hey, do you want to grab lunch? And if you don't enjoy it the first time, then boom, it's done. I feel like people tend to like fixate on like, oh my God, like, what if I don't like the lunch? Or what happens if like after the lunch I don't really like them? Then you let them know, or that's just the end of it. Of course, with making friends, the biggest fear is always like someone's gonna judge me, or someone's gonna, you said fear of judgment and rejection. And it may happen because not all people in this world, I feel like, have the same motive or are nice. But when you meet someone and you click, you have the same humor, or, things like that, or, I do believe that it's a lot harder to make friends when you're an adult, a little bit, just because I feel like as an adult, you kind of sometimes get a little antisocial, but your workplace, or if you're still going to school, or somewhere that you go all the time and you see them all the time, start a conversation. I know I'm like, do it. It's so easy. But I know it can be really tough for some people. But I'm not also saying leave your other friends behind. I'm just saying maybe start spacing yourself out where you feel like, okay, and if anyone ever says like, oh my God, what's wrong with you? Like, you're like, why are you distancing yourself? Just be like, oh no, I'm just really focused on, my goals and, like furthering whatever your situation may be. Like, and if it's a group, like you said, maybe there's a few people in the group that you enjoy. And I know a lot of people get like butthurt, like, oh my God, like you didn't ask the whole group to hang out. You just asked one person to hang out. But, if you like one person in the group, then talk to the one person in the group. Be like, hey, do you want to grab lunch? Or, hey, do you want to go grab drinks later on? Also, at the same time, I know you said that they're big partiers and stuff like that, but as much as you focus on your work, I think, like I said about the last email, take time to, go enjoy yourself. If these people know how to party and you have a day off, go party. Go have fun. When the time permits for you to go have fun, go have fun. It's your life. You get to do whatever you want to do with it, as long as you're a good person. But if you're done with that chapter, you go, thank you so much. I loved it. I mean, you don't have to physically tell them, but, like, I love those memories. Those are fun memories, but I move on and look forward to what's ahead of me. Something like that. Okay, so now we are at our last story. And our last story is something I tried really hard to relate to. And you'll understand why I say really hard. And I tried my best to be able to give my full, like, big sister advice. This one I will call advice because she is significantly younger than me. She is 13. And I just gave the advice that I would if I was a big sister or a mom. So you guys may have a different opinion. You can totally share because I'm sure she's more than willing to read down in the comments below to see what you guys would do. I even asked a few of the 13-year-olds that I know. I really wanted to make sure that I was grasping the point because 13 was a long, long, long time ago. It was a long time ago. So I don't remember what I would have done when I was 13, but I'm thinking in more of an adult way. Obviously, it's very hard as a 13-year-old to relate to an adult, but, it's my moment to shine as a big sister to a girl. Because I have a brother. He doesn't deal with this stuff. So, without further ado, hi, I am blank. I am 13 years old. I'd really like you to read this because I am in deep trouble. I just cut off one of my closest friends because I just couldn't take her toxicity. I don't know if that's even a word. I always wanted to cut her off, and I knew she was really toxic to me because of certain behaviors, such as acting very nice to me one day and then completely cutting me off the next. She used me as a topic of discussion to other friends. One time I met them and they looked at her and said, "Oh, this is who you always talk about?" I felt so betrayed and hurt. Anyways, I cut off all communication with her about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I've been very stress-free. But here's where the problem comes in. She is very close to my family, and her mom is friends with my mom. I can never get rid of her because I go to church with her, and we are family friends. I don't know how to act with her anymore because she hurt me. Also, she is not just toxic to me, she's very toxic to another friend as well. So we both cut her off, and I haven't heard from her since. This is where I need your help. I need tips and suggestions for me. How do I act around her? How do I approach her if I want to confront her? Should I confront her? I hope it makes sense because this email is very rushed and made right after you posted your TMM second video. I'm actually listening to you while I'm writing this. I hope you read this and I trust you with this topic. Thank you if you are reading this. Stay safe. Thank you for writing me so much. A few things. I nitpick the whole email. I did it with everything. From here on out, I'm nitpicking everything in the email. I'm not letting anything slide. Learning from my mistakes. Anyways, few things. One, the whole acting very nice to me one day and then completely cutting me off the next. No. No. Girl, we are not on your time. No. No. Do you want a friend or not? That's all I gotta say. No. Just no. Using you as a topic of discussion to her friends. I mean, I feel like that's totally normal. People gossip all the time. all the time. It's normal, but I understand why it hurt you, because then the friends went out of their way and was like, oh my God, this is who you talk about? But what I have to say about that is, one, they knew that saying this in front of you would hurt you. They purposely did that. They plotted this. They said, oh, this is how we're going to put it, because if we say it, then we know that she's going to get hurt, because then she knows we're talking about her behind her back. But let me tell you something. The way I read this is, one, they suck as friends, because that means that they decided to, because, let me rewind. If I told a friend something about someone and we went out and saw this other person and she had the audacity to be like, oh, this is that girl in front of her, I'd be like, you are not my friend. Because you would know better. One, gossiping is mean, but we all do it. So I'm being honest here. Like, if Kim and I went out somewhere and I said, I don't like this person, and she said, oh my God, this is the person you don't like, in front of her, I'd literally be like, do you know nothing about friend protocol? So really, she doesn't even have real friends. Like, that's just sad. Like, her friends just outed her completely. No. It's just, no. A key word you said was, I've been very stress-free, and that is the point. But I understand it gets a little bit difficult. But now we're talking, because now we're talking about how she's a close family friend. The part where I was a little bit confused was if you had told your mom or not. Now, obviously, you are 13, so you don't get to really choose like I do, because I'm old enough where I go, if I don't like a person, I'm not going to deal with it. But, of course, with being underage and all of that, your mom kind of, what your mom says goes. So I would, if you haven't told your mom, and if you do trust your mom, like you're very close to her and whatnot, I would be like, hey, like, you know, her and I aren't friends anymore, and it's nothing bad, but I just don't want to associate myself with her anymore, so I don't really want to be around when you hang out with her mom, kind of thing. There's no reason to make it a big deal. It's not like, oh my God, she hurt me, like, my feelings are hurt, because I feel like that'll just lead to your mom going to her mom and being like, oh my God, your daughter hurt my daughter, why? And then her mom will be like, you hurt her, say sorry. And then it just becomes this whole, like, there's no reason to involve the moms in it. Like, try your best to, when you tell your mom, tell her in a way where it's like, Mom, it's okay, but, you know, do you kind of get what I mean? Something you said was also, so we both cut her off, and I haven't heard from her since. If, one thing I want you to remember is, if the friendship to her even mattered, she would have reached out. She's not thinking about it right now, because it's not important to her. So, if it was important to her, she would have reached out to you. Just remember that. And now going through the 1, 2, and 3, there was 3 questions. It was, how do I act around her? How do I approach her? If I want to confront her, should I confront her? These are the things that I would do, but I know that our age is very different and far apart. So I know it can be hard to understand why I would do it, or, you know, this is just the way I would handle it if it was like my age group, I guess. The first being, how do I act around her? One, there is no reason to act any different to her. There's no reason to be rude to her. There's no reason to ignore her on purpose. You just live your day. You just do what you got to do. It seems like, I don't know if because you guys are family friends, you're over at her house or she's over at your house, or obviously you also go to church. But there's no reason to go out of your way to acknowledge her, and there's no reason that you need to, like, be overly friendly with her because you have to deal with the fact that she's close. Like, her family is close to your family. I guess the point is, there's no acting. You just are a friendly person. You are kind. I mean, I'm going to hope you are. But yeah, like, you're just living your life. Cutting her off was the best thing that you decided to do for yourself. And if she's not asking for an explanation, I don't feel like you should ask. I don't feel like you should be acting any different. Like, you're just living your life. If she says hi to you, you say hi to her. If she engages in conversation, but you feel uncomfortable, you go, hey, I can't really talk right now. And there's no reason to be like, the second you put a certain tone, she will want to fight you. So be very careful with the way you come out with it. Like if she comes up to you because she feels really happy that day and she wants to talk to you that day, and she goes, hey, how are you? Like, and she brings up something else, you go, hi, I'm good, how are you? You go along with it and you go, hey, I am actually really busy. I have to go do something real quick. And then you leave. And it doesn't matter if she catches you doing absolutely nothing in the next 3 minutes. It's the fact that she will get it. She'll be like, oh, I get it. Like, she doesn't want to talk to me. 2, how do I approach her if I want to confront her? Now, I know 13, around that age, is very different from when I was 13. You know, when I was 13, I would have taken my little posse and I walked up to her and been like, hey, you were mean. Or you could text her. I would have texted, maybe, possibly too. You know, there's different ways to confront. It's very easy if you want to confront her. Basically, just be honest. One of the things I feel like is best for your sanity, my sanity, everyone's sanity, is just to be honest. If she hurt you, say she hurt you. Who gives a damn if she... Who gives a darn? If she goes and tells her friends, like, oh my God, she's hurt. She hurt you. Period. That's it. Like, what else do you want? You hurt her. Like, you know, if she hurt you, you tell her, you hurt me and I don't trust you anymore and I don't think we're compatible as friends anymore. That's it. And the reason why I say being honest and telling someone your feelings is because you are allowing yourself to move on. Like when I am in an argument with someone and I say, you know, you feel weak because you go, oh, now I have to be vulnerable and I have to tell them why they hurt my feelings. But when you actually are vulnerable and you tell them, you hurt my feelings and this is how you hurt my feelings, when they have the audacity to be like, like, who cares about your feelings kind of thing, or they disregard it, or they don't care, or they go behind your back and talk about you, you just got their whole, like, that should say more than anything, ever. They don't need to validate, if they're not validating your feelings and how you feel, or apologizing, that is their character. You move on. That's how you move on. And when you kind of hide that, you kind of always sit there wondering, I feel like. For me, it's like when I say, you know, this is how you hurt my feelings, and they go, yeah, but this and this and this. I'm like, so you don't care. Okay, bye. It's so much easier to move on. That's what I mean by being honest and, you know, say what you're feeling. If she hurts you, she hurts you. That's it. Then you move on. Then you go, okay, bye. Like, great to know that you were that kind of person. Last is, should I confront her? I can't make that decision for you, unfortunately, because you need to make that decision for yourself. There's a couple ways you can go about it. You can and you don't have to. And the reason why I say is you can and you don't have to is if you don't, you kind of don't need to, I guess. She doesn't need the explanation. You cut her off. I think she understands why. Or unless you haven't expressed to her at all about how you feel, then she could. But I can't say you should or you shouldn't, because 1, it's not my call, and 2, it's kind of however you feel. You should do what you feel. If you want to tell her because you think that you deserve to know how she would have handled it, or, you know, like you're always wondering, or this could change your perspective, I don't know. I feel like at 13, you don't even really know what you want. You just kind of want to be liked. And so you kind of run around finding friends who like you. And it sounds like that could be a possibility of what she's doing. But I can't give you a go for it or a don't do it. I think if it's bothering you and it's causing stress, I think that you should do it. Why not? For me, if it was just me, if it was in my position at my age, I would personally only confront them if they asked. Because I personally think that, but then it's like, oh, but they can't fix their mistakes unless they know what they are. So see, I don't know. I really don't know. You're just going to have to do what your heart thinks is right. And I don't know what that is, but I'm going to trust that you know what it is. So think about it. Don't make any decisions right away. Just like right after you hear what I said, go, oh my God, this is what I'm going to do. Don't do that. Don't do that. Take what I've said, take what other people are saying down in the comments, and try to understand. Try to think of what you could do and what will help you. If she is ultimately a toxic friendship and it's just not working and you don't care to give her an explanation, then you don't care. Then if you can move on, then you can move on. Like, I sometimes have a personality where I'm like, I have to tell them. Like, I cannot move on until I tell them what is wrong. Then, but some people don't need closure. I sometimes do. Sometimes a situation is really bad for me and I don't want it. I don't want the closure because I'm like, that should be closure enough. Like, if she knows what she did wrong, then that's already closure enough that you cut her off. So really think about it before you go do anything crazy. But that's a wrap for episode 3. I hope you guys enjoyed it so much. I love talking about these topics. This video is obviously longer because I've added in more stories. I'm trying to add smaller stories in together. Please comment down below your opinions and thoughts, how you would handle certain situations, or if you've gone through certain situations. If you are one of the 3 people that emailed me these stories, thank you so much for being vulnerable with me and allowing me to step into your life and see what you're going through. And I hope that anything I said, even if it's just 2 seconds of what I said, is helpful in any way. If you also want to share a story with me, you can email me. My email is down below. I did say in my last episode that you can reach out to me on IG. However, I think Instagram is just very hard because I have a certain way of categorizing over email. So email is much preferred, but you can follow me on Instagram, of course, always. All that to say, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and I will see you guys next time. Bye!